Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got something a little bit special, a little bit spicy. We have got a guest, we've got two guests in fact. We've got Mr. Jamie Brock. How are you doing, sir?
I'm just the best.
Yep. And we've got Murdo McKinnon. How you doing?
I wasn't meant to be here, but
No, you were not.
I phoned him by accident.
Yeah. So basically what the plan is, I'm going to speak to Jamie, or we're going to talk about his favourite games, and me and Murdo are going to input our thoughts and feelings and emotions about them all. So Jamie...
Oh, Jesus.
the bit where I played none of them.
Yeah,
I know.
It's going to get real emotional real quick, boys. So just hold on. Jamie, what do you fucking like?
Just all the things. No, I took a wee note of like a couple of like I've got like 4 that the last wee while have stood out to me, and then I've basically got like honourable mentions of other shit that I like but I don't want to talk about for a while.
That's cool. Just
Fair
go for it.
So yeah. So either of you boys ever played This Is the Police?
No.
Nope.
Is that
It's
not
fucking
like a
banging.
walking simulator sort of thing?
A walking? No. You're like So you play as like the chief of police in this city, right? And you've been the chief of police for like 40 years, and you're old and you're fat and you're tired. So I relate to it a lot.
I was going to say that. Yes,
Yeah, I know.
say that.
And it's basically you're at the end of your career, and you basically get told you've got 180 days left until you retire, and you want to just have no hassle, no struggles, and you want to make $500,000.
Okay.
Right? And that's the game. And it's you manage what police go to what parts of the town to deal with certain crimes. You manage your detectives doing like other investigations and shit. The whole time you're trying to walk the kind of straight and narrow. Like, you don't want to be a corrupt official, right? But that's really fucking hard. And you don't make any money.
So that's an option. You can be corrupt.
Oh yeah. You can. So like you can. You start talking to like the mayor. So like the mayor's pretty corrupt, and he's like, one of the things, for example, is he says like, my wife loves people singing to her, so go to where she works, send some police officers and serenade her, and I'll give you $5,000 or something, right? But doing that sends 3 officers. They can't be out fighting crime all day, and you're getting like a backhand pay, and you're not giving them anything. So they're a bit pissed off with you. So you've got to manage that. There's gangs get involved. You get involved with a gang war, whether you like it or not, and it's like you've kind of got to pick sides with what's better for the city overall, and it's brilliant. And it's really story driven, and it's just trying to make sure that your people, your officers, are happy and loyal to you, basically. So like one of the big things, there's always protests going on, right? Because America, and you can quell them, peacefully or by force. But if you do them by force, you've then got to explain yourself in front of a court. But before that, you get the option, you could just falsify evidence. You're the chief of fucking police,
Yeah.
But that costs money. It's a brilliant game. I fucking love it. There's a second one out now, but I don't want to get it yet. I want to finish through the first one a couple more times because there's tons of different branches to go down. So it's good.
So
good.
So what's the moment by moment gameplay like? What's the actual gameplay like?
So you've got like cards in front of you basically, and that's like, so say you've got 9 cards, you've got 9 police officers, and they've got like a star rating of like how good they do. So like one of them might be 400, one of them might be 5. So you send them out to jobs. You get like a phone call in, and it's like a different crime, and it's in different parts of the city. So you choose who goes to it. Every so often, depending on like the severity of it, you get to choose how they react to it.
Right.
And that's always quite good because that can go one of the other ways. So like, for example, if you're police officers, if you tell them just fucking shoot everybody, then okay, they catch the criminals, they kill the criminals, people get saved, but they get more annoyed, they're stressed out because they've killed people.
Yeah.
But if you take the more, put the guns down, we'll all talk it out, people might die. So you've got to try and work out that. So it is nice trying to kind of like, it's a very like strict tightrope walk,
So it sounds like a bit of it's quite a strategy game. You have to really think about things.
Yeah, it's like quite a strategic like micromanagement kind of thing. One of the bits I was playing it just before we came on this, and I won't say anything because it's a big it's a big like story mission. But I sent 3 police officers out to do something, and basically it was super illegal, but it made me a shit ton of money. So they were then threatening me, and they were like, "We want all the money you've made and all the money in your bank account, or we're going to rat on you," right? As they would do. But I was talking. It was a gang mission, so I went back to the gang leader and said to him, "Can you set up a trap to kill these 3 officers?" And he did. I just sent them out into the woods, and they got fucking massacred.
Jesus.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, you start off the game, so I'm on, like, I say it's 180 days, I'm on day, like, 100. By day 1, I was turning down the gang leader. I was trying to, stick to that straight and narrow.
Yeah.
It's way harder to.
Yeah. So, I take it on the last day, just before retirement, you die.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
he's
wish.
1 day away from retirement. No, man, that sounds cool.
Depending on what happens. I say it's got tons of different, like, ways to take the story, and, like, different, like, who you side with and all that stuff. Like, you can do it. You can make your $500,000 and be the hero cop for the city by being a good guy, right? But I don't fucking see how it's possible, because you make so little money.
That sounds really intriguing, really in depth.
Yeah.
Is that
It's like a pile
really
of
worth
different
checking out.
endings, is there?
Yeah. As far as I know, I've finished it twice, and they've both been different. I won't say what happens in case you end up playing it or anyone that listens plays it. But I've a couple of times I've played it, it's been different, so I've liked it.
excellent? Is that on Game Pass? Is it?
I think no, it was. I don't think it's on Game Pass. It was on like Games with Gold for a while when it came out. It might be on Game Pass now though, actually, but it's well worth checking out.
Excellent. I might do.
Yeah.
I've literally never heard of that before.
I have.
It's
heard
brilliant.
Of it. I have heard of it, but I've just never played it. 'Cause I
And
just-
the main voice actor guy is is it John St. John? It's Duke Nukem.
Oh, cool.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, he decided to actually be in a good game as opposed
Yeah,
to
for
Duke
sure.
Nukem Forever.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as people say.
It was not great.
It wasn't great, but it was.
See if
It wasn't dog shit.
See if that came out like today, people would go mental.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, it didn't.
Yeah.
But a lot of people's hate for it was just, it's so juvenile. It's like it's
Well, yeah,
Duke
Duke
Nukem.
Nukem. Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
All right, man, that's cool. Murdo, do you have anything to add?
I mean, I don't really gravitate towards like strategy games and stuff. Like and micromanagement is just the bane of my existence in games. But it actually does sound quite good.
Sounds very intriguing. It's a cool concept for a game.
You've sold it well,
Yeah.
Jamie.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I do that.
All right, next one.
Cool. So the next one I've put a bunch together, and I think Murdo will agree with me. Telltale games, because I've been
Okay.
getting fucking heavy into them again, and I love them. Sadly, as I'm sure you both know, they just closed down last year.
Yeah, it was a complete shit show, wasn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Complete
they
shit
were.
show.
There was people. They had like I think a couple of hours to like clear out their desks and shit. It was horrible. It was really really horrible.
Came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
Because those games must sell quite a bit.
Oh, they do. They really
Still.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Because they're forever
there's
releasing
a
like
lot of-
bundles
sorry,
with
yeah.
all of them, and
Yeah.
then they add a new one in, and then they must have sold millions.
And I can't imagine they would have cost that much to make either.
No. The
Licensing might
there
have
was
been a bit of an
few-
issue, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was
true.
the thing. There was a few videos that were like they'd taken on so many projects. They think like obviously there's still a lot of speculation, and I don't think like it's going to come out to the public for a wee while what actually happened. But they had the rights to like Batman, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Guardians of the Galaxy. That shit's got to be expensive just to hold on to.
Major properties as well.
Yeah. Well, think like Game of Thrones alone. Game of Thrones is the biggest and most expensive TV show ever.
Yeah, it's
How much do you
license
think
for
it was? Yeah. How much do you think it was to get the license for that and to get the voice? Like they had like Peter Dinklage and
Oh, that's
Lena
true,
Headey.
actually, yeah.
They had like the real actors in it. That shit's expensive.
That's true. The games themselves to make probably wouldn't have cost that much. But yeah, like I said, licensing, paying these actors,
Yeah.
that would Yeah, it'd be a fucking
Yeah.
shit ton. And getting writers in for this stuff as well.
Oh yeah. Well, the whole the branching path thing, but yeah, the last project that they did, and they're finishing it up, and it finishes. I think the last episode is next month. Is the final season of The Walking Dead. I get fucking, and I love those games. I've always loved The Walking Dead. So is Murder. You've loved them as well, haven't you? Since season 1.
Oh, the Walking Dead one's absolutely. Like, I've still
Yeah.
not played season 3, and apparently I thought that was the one that they're in the middle of just now, but apparently they've done 4 now.
Yeah.
But 1, I think season 1 of Telltale Walking Dead is in my top 10 games of all
by
time.
far. Yeah, definitely. And that's what made me replay them. I did the first episode of the last season, and I got like halfway through it, and I thought, nah, I want to have one definitive run through of all of the games, like
Yeah,
all
absolutely. I
the
get
Walking Deads. I
Because
just
they've
have
both
one save.
they've been on
yeah.
Game Pass at various different points. I've just been downloading them, and then when 3 goes on, I'll probably just go through like 1 through 3 and just have like all my choices, because we've played through season 1 a few times, so we know which choices lead to which outcomes. So you kind of pick the ones you want through 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And
That's the one thing. But the reason. It's more. It was it's bonding with people. It's like bonding with Lee and Clementine and Kenny and all. But the thing that I found really interesting playing through it again now is I've still got some of my old saves from like when we first played them. Like
Oh, really?
4 years ago or something. Yeah. That I obviously like carried over from the Xbox 360. And what I thought was really interesting was looking at the choices I make now when I'm 23 compared to the choices I made in 2012. Because like one of the big ones, Murder, you'll remember it. Jason, did you play the Walking Dead games? Out of curiosity.
I played Series 2. I think I played half of that, but the only other Telltale game that I am familiar with, I played the whole of the Game of Thrones.
yeah, totally.
Which I thought was fantastic, and I was very disappointed that
Yeah.
they made a second season
Oh
of it.
yeah. I was annoyed it ended on a spoiler. It ended on a cliffhanger.
On a cliffhanger,
Sorry.
yeah. But no, I played a little bit of The Wolf Among
Yeah.
Us, but that's it. That's all I'm
Aye.
familiar with.
The one that I'd say it was nice seeing just how at least I think I've changed as a person. I know it's a game, but it's like what I thought. So Murdo, you'll remember episode 2 of season 1, right? The St. John Cannibals, right?
Oh god, yeah.
So I say it's 2012 it came out in whenever. So that's what 7 years ago. Long time.
Christ.
So I was 18. I was 18, 19 when it came out. There's a point where you get one of the cannibals. A big bad shit's just happened. One of the people in your group's died, and one of the cannibals gets stuck in a bear trap right in front of you, and you've got a pitchfork, and you can choose to stab him through the chest and kill him, or put the pitchfork down. Now, when I was a little boy, and at 18, I spared his life, and I was like, nah, we don't kill people, we're the good guys and all that shit. But playing through it now, maybe slightly more jaded and older and cynical, I was like, fuck this is a cannibal that eats people and murders them and puts them in bear traps. Fucking harpoon the motherfucker,
But then that kind of comes back and bites you on the ass, because, like, isn't it like the second you do that, Clementine walks around the corner and witnesses you kebabbing the guy?
Yeah, but I made that rational choice, and I was like, okay, and that's the thing as well, knowing that that's going to happen, that she's going to see you. I was like, I will quite happily tell this little girl, bad people sometimes have to die, especially. Especially in a game like this, there's enough shit trying to eat you. You don't need fucking Danny St. John at it. Plus, he's a creepy fuck. He was naming his gun and rubbing it all sexual and all that shit,
Yeah.
See, out of context, sounds just awful.
Yeah, it was a dark
In
thing.
context, it wasn't great either.
It wasn't. Yeah, naming Charlotte. No, yeah.
They kind of fell under a lot of, well, not so much a lot, but I think people got fatigued with them because it kind of felt like no matter what choice you made, your destination was going to be exactly the same. Like, these kind of games have come a long way recently. I mean, with Detroit Become Human recently, feels like, it's the AAA version of these Telltale games, and it's just done ridiculously well.
Yeah.
Just the amount of different outcomes you can have. But
by far,
I think
that's
Telltale kickstarted all of that.
Yeah, Telltale kickstarted it, but the difference was obviously, it's very different games, as you say. It's a difference between like a smaller, like mid-tier release and a AAA title. Was that with a Telltale story, you went where Telltale wanted you to go. The biggest one where you had the most choice was season 2, because there was 3 endings. Well, there was 4 endings technically. Well, 5. You could go with Jane, and then you could let a family in to live with you, or turn them away. You could go with Kenny, and you could abandon him and go into Wellington, I think it was called, or stick with Kenny, and then you could just go off on your own. And that was the biggest, like, oh fuck, because all these things were leading up to the 3rd season, which was another year and a half away. But like me and Murdo, I remember talking about it, we had very different endings because of how you felt at that time. So yeah, the Telltale games, I love them. And I'm still playing them just now. There's Batman ones out that I didn't realize, so I've got them. Nah, they're good. I like Telltale.
Telltale games on for everyone. But obviously with me, Game of Thrones, I love Game of Thrones, so that was a good one for me. But regardless of how you feel them, it's a very sad end to the studio.
Yeah. Oh, by far. And it was a good, the one, I say not even the good saving grace, because it was still terrible and a lot of people lost their jobs and that. The last season, the first 2 episodes had come out of the final season of The Walking Dead, Telltale, and they were like, this might be it, like the last 2 episodes might never come out, just because of the way it works. The company that came in to save them was Skybound, and that's Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead company anyway, so that it was Walking Dead that saved The Walking Dead in the end, and I thought, that's nice. It's still terrible. But
it's a little bit of poetic justice, I suppose.
Yeah, in a sense. But yeah, it was. I liked it. I thought it was very nice.
Murdo, do you have any thoughts on the Telltale games?
Yeah, I mean, I've only played sort of a few of them. Obviously, The Walking Dead, I don't think I've ever been, well, probably at some point, but not in a long time had I been so emotionally invested in characters in a video game. Before that. So the Walking Dead ones are amazing. I've played the Game of Thrones one, which I don't actually think, the Forrester house that you play as in that, I don't think they're actually canon, but they did such a good job of making them feel like they were properly part of this world.
They are actually canon.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I know it. Fair enough.
Oh.
Fair enough.
I didn't know that either.
Very minor, but they are in there.
Yeah.
Right. I should have known that. I was in Game of Thrones.
Something that wasn't necessarily very fleshed out in the show or the book then, and they brought it to the forefront. And I think The Wolf Among Us was the other one I played, which was just brilliant. But that's probably the one I'm most gutted about.
Yeah, Wolf Among Us season 2 was announced.
Yeah, Wolf Among Us season 2 would have been great. But does it follow the comics pretty closely?
No.
Does it not?
It's set well before the comics.
Oh shit! Because I was thinking like if you just read Fables, you might get on alright, but maybe not.
No. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I started reading Fables because of how good The Wolf Among Us was, and I was like, everyone's in different places, and like people don't look the same, and they're all, it was really good. They're really good comics, though.
I'll need to give them a shot, but no, Telltale games definitely a shout.
Stuff.
All right, moving on, Jamie. Next one.
Cool stuff. So one that I hope you both agree with, The Witcher 3. Fuck me, what a game!
Of course,
fantastic.
Yeah, it literally it's one of the things I've not talked to anybody that plays video games that didn't just be like, Witcher 3. Oh yeah, Witcher 3, that was fucking amazing. Just it was funny, it was sad, it was deep, it was easy to pick up and play. It was good in that, as we were saying with the Telltale stuff, like sometimes your choices didn't seem like they mattered. With The Witcher, it did. Like you could see, like, oh shit, I saved this person. Look at this, or I didn't do this mission quite right, or I failed it, or whatever. I just loved it. One of probably like the most beautiful games and just amazing stories I've ever played. And I'll tell you, this is how much I love it. It's one of my top 5 games by far, and I've still never finished it.
Well, I will top you one, Jamie. It is my favorite game I've ever played.
Wow, really?
And I finished the main game, but I haven't finished the DLC.
The DLC.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I finished the the Hearts of I finished the Hearts of Stone DLC, so the first one, and then I bought Blood and Wine as well, the one where you travel.
Yeah.
And that's where I kind of got not stuck on. I was doing other things at the time, and going back to it now, I'm super high level in this vampire hunt, and I don't remember the story and stuff, so I don't want to. I need to restart it at some point, basically.
Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Actually, it's not my favorite game. It's one of.
Okay.
It's like top 3, top 5.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I was thinking about other ones.
Beautiful game, beautiful story. You think of you think of all the stuff like CG Projekt Red did, like they were being given money by the government because of like how good it was doing, you know? It's just phenomenal story. I love the stuff. The books, like the source material it's based on, I started reading them. They are phenomenal. Like they are really like diamonds in the rough.
Last Wish and all that.
Yeah. So I'm I'm reading them out of order. Like, I'm reading the short stories first, and then, like, the real stories. But you're meant to read, like... I don't remember, I'm sure... I think it's like you read, like, the first 2 books, and then one of the sets of short stories, and then the other 2, and then short stories. But I'm reading all the short stories, and then the main books in one big chunk.
Well, there's some really interesting controversy with the books. Was it last year or the year before? Where... Because he sold CD Projekt Red, like, the rights, and to, like... to all of his characters and all that. Because he thought, they'll make a game of it, it won't go anywhere. And then The Witcher became bigger than his books ever were, so he's like, well, I want a slice of that. But he sold them the rights for like $5,000 about 20 years ago.
It's not great.
Isn't that a similar situation to the guy that wrote the Metro books?
Yeah.
I suppose it will be,
yeah. Because he's the Metro books are, again, they're brilliant books, but they're very, very difficult to read. Because they're translated from Russian, in that they're very nice books, but God, it's long-winded and it's hard to. It's like trying to read The Lord of the Rings now. Like it's like, oh God, it's just
actually. I'm in the middle of doing that. I'm halfway through the Fellowship now. It's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah. But Witcher 3, phenomenal. I want to finish it. Like I'm looking forward. I loved all the stuff that came out of it. Like I loved Gwent. I used to play Gwent competitively. I loved it. I was top 500 for a while, and then I had college to do.
That was one of the parts of The Witcher that I didn't invest myself in.
I didn't get into Gwent at all. No.
I played it once in the tutorial, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Well, I didn't either. But then Gwent was free on the Xbox, and I was big into Hearthstone at the time, so I was like, fuck yeah, I love this.
Yeah, fair.
And there's another thing that just came out, and I nearly bought it today, and then I decided not to because I'm going away again in a couple of days. That Thronebreaker game. It's like a single-player puzzle card game thing set in the Witcher world.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
I know literally nothing about it except that it looks really good and it's got like 5-star reviews. So there's that.
Yeah. No, but the Witcher, because for me. I hadn't played any of the Witcher games prior. I have since, and The Witcher 1 is not good. By today's standards, anyway. But I bought it on a whim. I think I saw my brother play it. I was like, oh, wow, that looks pretty. So I downloaded it, and I think the first day I got it, I played about 6-7 hours, which for me is incredibly unusual, because I don't have much of a attention span for that sort of thing. But I was like, fuck, this is... Because I never got into Skyrim, right? At all. For whatever reason, I think because I didn't like the hand-to-hand combat. I thought it was very janky and quite...
That's,
Yeah.
definitely a trope of Elder Scrolls games, is it?
Yeah. But I like, medieval fantasy is like my favourite setting for anything. So I got it, I started to play it. And do you know one of the things that really turned the tide for me in terms of like, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna play the shit out of this. It's such a stupid and benign thing, but I fucking loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Is when it's quite soon into the game and you had to retrieve that lady's frying pan.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that's so fucking stupid, but I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah, little bits like that.
Yeah, The Witcher 3 is just incredible. It really is.
You can't overstate. Just like, without getting too long-winded into it, I feel like in every console generation, you've got like a kind of game that gets showcased a lot. Like 360, PS3, it was kind of like action shooters, be it first person or third person. You had your Gears of Wars, your Uncharted's, all that kind of carry on. They were really pushed forward. And in this console generation, I feel like they've really doubled down on open world games, and The Witcher 3 is just the benchmark for open world games.
It's the pinnacle. It is absolutely the pinnacle of open world games.
Yeah. Like, I played about 40 hours of it, and I got to... What's the place called? I think it's Skellige or something like that.
Skellige Isles.
The
best
yes.
place in the game.
It is.
Got there, and then I can't even remember what it was, but something distracted me, and I stopped playing. Got back to it a couple months later, and was like, "What's going on again?"
That's the thing. You have
and
to.
I just found it really hard to get back into it. So if I would love to go back to it, but if I go back to it, I'm gonna have to go back from the start.
Yeah, you have to play it in chunks. You really do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's incredible.
It is.
No, yeah.
I think, so many things have been said by The Witcher that we can't really add to it.
Yeah. As well, I'm super hyped for their next release that I think they're looking to come out next year, Cyberpunk 2099.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing for it. It looks great. I know there's like gameplay and shit out there, and I'm not watching any of it.
I haven't seen anything.
I just want to go into it blind. I want to do what I did with Red Dead 2. I don't want to know what happens in it. I just want to buy it and play the game because it looks. I know I'm going to love it. It's CG Project Red,
Yeah. No, top choice there, Jamie.
Good stuff. Cool beans.
Next one, please.
Yeah. So my next one is my be all end all. So I've got a couple of honourable mentions if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Overwatch.
Nice.
Brilliant fun.
Quality, love it.
Yeah. Murdo only plays one character, so I don't think it's that fun for him.
Who do you play, Murdo?
I've only ever played Reaper.
Oh right. See,
Yeah.
I tend to just play Junkrat.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with it was, I got really heavily into it, and
As we
I
all
don't
did.
know how many hours I put into it, but just a dumb amount of hours. And then whatever happened, my Xbox just deleted my save.
Oh,
I
fuck.
remember, yeah.
Deleted everything. So I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. This is taking up way too much of my time as it is. This is probably a good thing. It's a sign. I need to stop. So I got rid of it. And then, what was it, last year?
Yep.
This brown package comes in the post. And I open it. It's a copy of Overwatch with a From Brocky tag. But jumping back into it, people are so fucking good at it now.
Yeah, it's
really hard to get into.
I haven't played it in probably a year.
You will get annihilated.
Yeah, I mean, whenever who's the last character I saw out? Moira?
Moira. It's my main. I love Moira.
Yeah. So I haven't played it. I really like the game though. I like yourselves. I played a stupid amount of Overwatch.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. A couple more honorable mentions. Injustice and Mortal Kombat.
Hell yes!
I'm just putting those kind of fighting, NetherRealm fighting games.
That's your
Absolutely
forte,
brilliant.
Murdo?
Sorry?
That's your forte.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mortal Kombat. I've been playing Mortal Kombat since I was like 4, which probably explains a lot.
Really
but...
bad, yeah.
You're a mass murderer now, aren't you, Murdo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
7 so
fancy
far.
that.
Getting there. No, yeah. Mortal Kombat. That. I'm looking. Me and Murdo have been so fucking hyped for the new Mortal Kombat coming out.
I'm excited too.
Yeah,
I know. Seeing the run up to these games coming out. Like, it's the only time I'll leave. Like, I've got a Twitter account, but I just don't use it. I'm subscribed to one person. I'm not subscribed, whatever you do on Twitter, and it's Ed Boon. And it's just, I only go on Twitter in the run up to a Mortal Kombat game coming out, because he's the biggest cock tease in the world.
He's such a tease. Yeah.
Even down to the Mortal Kombat 11 announcement, where he comes out, he's like, "Oh shit, I played the wrong video."
Yeah.
But no, I've always loved Mortal Kombat, and they're just, it's weird, but they're getting better as time's going on. Like, you're gonna have people say, "Oh, there's nothing like the ones on Super Nintendo," but to compare,
you can.
the in-depth mechanics that they've got with Injustice and Mortal Kombat nowadays versus just how limited it was back on Super Nintendo. You can't.
They're
incredible.
X was ridiculous. And
Oh,
Injustice
yeah.
2.
So good.
Do you know Injustice 2 was the first? Cause I'd never played the first Injustice. I think that was with yourself, Jamie, when I
Yeah.
bought Injustice. Because I had borrowed it from my brother. And I was like, fuck, this is actually
Yeah.
so good. So I played a lot of Injustice 2 as well.
Yeah. Like
No,
one
yeah,
thing
that's
I get
brilliant.
into is like character customization.
Yeah, I was just
And
going to say that.
they've added that in the last Injustice, and I know I'm going to lose my life to decking out Mortal Kombat characters just the way I want. Like Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat X, if I could look on, Xbox just now, but I'm pretty sure I've got about a combined 2-week playtime across both those games. I'm sure
Yeah.
it's like 7 days on each.
That's
They just-
ridiculous.
Mostly.
It's
it is
stupid,
ridiculous.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a good game.
Do you have any more honorable mentions, Jamie?
Yeah, I've got 2 more,
Mhm.
just quick. Darkest Dungeons. Either of you played that?
No.
Oh,
I have it though. No, I don't. I'm a liar.
I like it so much. I've bought it 3 times now.
Wow.
Twice for myself and once for a gift. It's like a roguelike hardcore team game, and where you're going into this like
Dungeon?
yeah. Well, you go into more than you go into this hamlet of like your old ancestors' like little town place, and you can upgrade the town so like your people get better. You send them in to fight monsters. There's tons of different classes and heroes and all that shit. It's just fucking brilliant. I don't want to waste much time on it, but I love the game and it's brilliant. And it's the one thing that I love is it's permadeath, like it's hardcore mode the whole way through. So you can spend a lot of money and a lot of time making one fucking crusader or a ranger or something or a cleric really super powerful and have the best gear, and then they just get ganked and that's it, and you've lost them forever, and you hate yourself.
Kind of like XCOM, I suppose.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but it's like a side-scrolling, like a RNG thing. It's really
Okay.
good though. It's really interesting. And last honorable mention, just because I've spent so much time playing it, is Fallout New Vegas, because that game's
Okay.
mint. Favorite one of all the Fallouts by far. Just love it.
See, I never played it.
Mm.
Never played
DLC was a bit naff.
it. A bit naff.
Yeah, it was some letdowns, but overall it was okay.
And Matthew Perry's in it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays
yeah.
Benny. He plays the guy that shoots you in the face.
Shoots you in the face right at the start.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did an okay job, I suppose, doing as a voice actor.
He's looking a bit
Bit
haggard
lackluster.
now, though, isn't he?
Yeah, aren't we all? Aren't we all, Murdo?
And your number one. Your
So,
be all
yeah.
and end all.
Be All End All is it's split into 2 games, but they're of the same series, and I can't differentiate which one I love more.
I feel like I know what this is going to be.
Okay,
Go on.
do I still go, or does Murdo
No,
get
no,
his
fire
guess? It's Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Um,
chose the third one.
Yeah, I love Mass Effect 3. I don't give a shit what people say. The ending, yeah, but the extended cut for me was perfect. It did what it wanted to do. I loved it.
Again, that's
yeah.
a game series I've never played.
You're missing out. One was weird for its time, but going back and playing it, I like it. It's on the Game Pass, I think, anyway. I still quite like it. 2 was by far and above the best game I'd ever played in my entire life. Like, I did it for a lot of games, but I skipped school to play this game. I loved it. I just connected to it, and I wanted to get the best ending, and then I played through it I think 30 odd times, like the main story, and did all the DLC and all the side quests. I fell in love with all the characters. I love, like you were saying, like medieval times and all that. Like that's always a good fun setting for you, Jason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love space. Just exploring alien planets and fucking weird-looking squid monsters in space. I know Murdo
Now,
loves
when
octopus.
you said fucking weird, do you mean like you actually get to fuck him?
You can do there's romance
Yeah.
options for a few characters.
Oh, we ain't talking about no romance.
Oh no, yeah, it's violent. If it no, God, I shouldn't say that. Jesus Christ, cut that, Jesus.
I definitely won't.
Yeah, no, I can believe you. No, yeah, just Mass Effect 2 was just this brilliant game in that you so the start of Mass Effect 2, you die. You get blown up and your body gets dumped in space, and then you get brought back to life, and basically you get told, okay, this shadowy corporation has brought you back to life. You're going to go on a suicide mission. Assemble a team. We're going to give you like 13 people to go and find. Get them and fucking go do this. We don't expect you to live through this. And you have to like upgrade your ship to get it like good enough to even go through this. You have to do loyalty missions to make sure people live or die. You have to make very, very big important choices. You can be Paragon or Renegade. You know, you can be the hero of the stars or this big bastard. Oh, yeah, loved it. And then the same with 3. 3 was just this perfect game. It was, there's, the big enemies have arrived. Build an army. Get as many people on your side as you can, you know? Yeah, perfect games. I loved them. I loved them so much. I loved them so much, I nearly got a Mass Effect 2 a couple of years ago, and I still consider it often.
Wow.
Yeah.
So with your love of Mass Effect, what did you make of Andromeda?
I didn't mind it. I didn't have the. You know how like everyone who seemed to play and review it said it was like a big buggy mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have that. I played it like 2 weeks after it came out, and it was pretty polished at that stage.
Okay.
I thought it was. And it was a bit annoying. It didn't have the same feel to me. Well, the whole point was you weren't in this established universe anymore, right? You were in this new place. So you're trying to make a world, you know, a universe that's capable of making you in it, right? And that was cool, and I liked that. But it wasn't handled the best, I didn't think. And the characters felt a bit edgy and a bit cringy, you know.
I'd seen some video of the girl protagonist in particular, and it just looked fucking dreadful, like the dialogue and even the acting as well, not good.
Yeah, God, the acting was so. Like that's the thing. I don't even mind when it's like bad acting in a game, like if they're at least trying, you know.
Yeah.
But this was like wooden. It's like no, stop. You'll take out the whole planet. It's like no, come on, just fucking at least try. You're getting paid. You know how much money did they sink into this? You know.
Probably quite a bit.
Yeah,
they probably didn't get much out of it.
And the ending, I was annoyed in it. It's one of the things the ending was terrible. The big baddie just dies like almost off camera, and it's like, you know, when it sets up and you're like, oh god, the guy's going to be behind me alive, even more stronger. Yeah, that doesn't happen. He's just dead. And at the end of the game, I was super pissed off, and I'm sure Murdo will laugh at me. So I bought the super duper deluxe edition of this game, right?
Of course you did.
Didn't even get God and Demon skins.
You didn't get red skins.
Didn't get red skins. But can't say that, Murdo. That's offensive. Make an apology. But at the end of it, they tease all the DLC, right? And since then, it's been shit canned, and they said we're not going to make any DLC for this game, and I'm still out 60 extra quid because I invested in this, so I'm salty with Andromeda.
Yeah, that's real shitty.
Yeah, it's a kick in the balls. I emailed people, never ever got responses. Like it wasn't. I would be less annoyed if I'd even got the we're sorry, you know, it doesn't work that way. But to physically just blank a customer. Like someone that has talked up this.
Oh, hello there. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Now, the recording software I was using to record the Skype call did cut out, so I'm doing this rushed ending. Okay, that's the end of it. Jamie will stop talking now. Bye bye.